Hi there, Red Plant Girl here. Today I'm going to be planting up these 3 pots. I'm hoping to make kind of a screen here behind this bench for my sitting area on my patio. And I've picked up a selection of plants. All of them are ones I've grown myself here since late winter. So I have a Canna, and this is just a Canna I've been growing for years. It's red in the flower, green leaves, and I don't know the variety anymore. I divided these up pretty late in the season here, so I'm hoping that they fill out and do all right, but even if I don't get flowers, I should still get some good leaf growth off of them. So those are going to be kind of the screen part of the display here on the back of each pot. And then I have some Dwarf Amulet Coreopsis. This was some free seed in a package that I received. Can't even remember who it was from. One of the seed companies I ordered from. So I've never grown it before, but it's supposed to get 18 to 24 inches tall, and I think about that wide as well, with red flowers. And it's actually perennial in my zone from what I've read, so I'll be able to pop it out of the pots later in the season and plant it in the ground. Then I'm thinking some of the Trusty Coleus that I used for, that I did cuttings from and grew them on that way. I'm thinking that'll be a nice color contrast with the big leaves and the texture in the leaves to the leaves of the Canna that'll be green and a smoother big leaf. And then these will texture nice, these will contrast nicely as well with these two like that. And then I was looking to put some alyssum over the front, and I purchased the alyssum, but it looks like the flea beetles have gotten to it, so I've had to change my plan here. And I have some Bunnytails Grass, which will give a nice, again, just one more different texture and a little bit different color in the leaf. And they get nice little plumes in the fall. And these, I believe, can get around 18 inches tall as well. So, and I think those would be a nice, just something different in the front there. And if I feel that I need a spiller out the side, then I'll have to come back later and grab that, something for that. But I think this is what we're going to go for and see how it works out. So I thought I'd bring you along, and we'll follow up with it as the season goes. Okay, so I'm hoping you can hear me all right. The neighbor's actually putting in a pool, so we've got a lot of machinery going next door. But I think what I'll start with is Canna in the back, and I've just prepared the soil with just regular potting soil and some all-purpose fertilizer. And this will be a full sun container. So I divided up a large Canna rhizome, well, a few Canna rhizomes, about a month ago, so they're just getting going, but they've got some nice roots going on them. I think they'll do well here. They seem to be taking off. I recall the Trusty got quite large last year as well. This is a Coleus that can take full sun or shade. The Bunnytails Grass has probably been in here a little bit too long, and they're pretty root bound. It's the first time I've grown it, so I'm excited to try it and see it grow. I saw Mary Curry growing it last year, and I just thought it was a really neat plant, so I wanted to get some seed and try it. Put that there and it can come up. So that should come up through the middle there. Now this is one of those Amulet Coreopsis. Again, grown from seed, nice root system on them. Coreopsis flowers throughout most of the summer usually. So I'm not sure, growing it from seed. I think it'll still flower this first year for me. And then the Coleus will give lots of nice color. Let's take another Trusty Rusty in here. This one doesn't have quite the same root system, but it'll catch up. So this is quite packed for the potential for these plants, but being that these are perennial, I don't think they'll spread out and get too big this year. And this should have a more upright growth habit. The Canna will have a more upright growth habit. And the Coleus spreads out a little bit, but not much more. So I think that'll be all right like that. I think that'll look nice. Even if the Canna doesn't flower this year, it'll come in and give me some good leaf growth, and I think we have a nice contrast of texture and color here. I think that'll look nice. So I'm going to get the other two planted up. So there, I think those turned out quite nice. The Coleus aren't completely even sizes right now, and the Canna still needs to grow in, but I think they'll do all right in that spot there. I need to double check, because I think some of those Coleus look like maybe they're not quite the same variety, but they weren't all in the same tray. They were under different light conditions. So there's a chance I have two different varieties in there. But it could just be that they had different lighting, and so some have more green on their leaves than others. I have to look at my tags and find them. But I'm happy with that. Like I said, the Coreopsis I don't expect to grow huge in those pots. If they do, then something might need to be popped out just to make room, because those pots are pretty packed in there right now. But I think the pots will be interesting even if the Cannas don't reach their full potential this year. And it should give a nice interest to the back of this bench. I'm just going to lift you up so you can kind of see. I have the covers on my seating right now because we're under a storm advisory, but just to kind of give you an idea of what we're dealing with here. So that's the space that I have there, and behind me is my fire pit area and kind of facing out into my yard. So I just thought it might be nice to just give a little bit of a screen there. The neighbors behind us their land is raised up a bit so they can see right into my yard. And even with the trees here, it still sometimes needs just a little bit more. So I think that'll be nice when that fills in, and just give a little interest to the back of that bench. So I'm going to water those in well. Cannas like water. They can deal with lower water situations, but they do like to have a good drink, and they're heavy feeders. And all of these plants, especially in this pot, will probably need a little extra feed anyways, just because they're so tight. But I'll just be making sure I give them water, a couple times a week, and when it gets real hot out, every day, at least once a day. And they'll be getting probably regular liquid feed every week. So I hope you enjoyed seeing these pots come together, and maybe they gave you some inspiration as you're putting your pots together for this summer or next summer if you've already done yours up. And I'll try and keep you posted as the summer goes by to see how these grow and fill in and how it turned out for me. So thanks for watching, and we'll see you next time. Bye.